goodness! The final boss is back! And I ain't talking about The Rock. And no, Cody Rhodes was not attacked by Kevin Owens outside his tour bus. Don't believe anybody. WWE presents Bad Blood from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. Everything's hot in Atlanta except the fucking Braves. Hell in the Cell tonight with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, man. Oh my God, what a classic. CM Punk wanted to bring back the feeling of Hell in a Cell. He exceeded so many expectations. Cody teams with Roman against the Bloodline, but it wasn't enough. Jimmy Uso's back, finally. But you know who else is back? The Rock is back. And The Rock sends an ominous message to the OG Bloodline. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're drinking at the OCS venue. It's hot here, man. We got 2,100 in here. I haven't even said a word yet. I'm gonna need two old fashions tonight, man. When I walk through those doors on this Saturday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Richards on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your WWE Bad Blood 2024 post show. It is Saturday, October 5th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Saturday evenings, wherever you may be. And before we even get into anything here, the chat. He drops $100 in super chat right out of the gate. We got Jay Solstice. I know you can't stand the Phillies, but we can agree on hating the damn Mets. Thank God for Hell in a Cell. Absolute banger match with Punk and Drew. Rounds for all my friends, even the Mets cockroaches out there. All love in the OTS venue. Cheers to a great show. Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for being here, man. We got near 3,000 in here on a Saturday night, man. Thank you so very much for joining me on your Saturdays, wherever you may be. Bad Blood, 1997, St. Louis. It was the first ever Hell in the Cell match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And as poetic as anything, Triple H earlier in the year announced that Bad Blood would be making a return to the WWE pay-per-view calendar to the day of the original show in St. Louis, where we saw Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker in one of the greatest matches in WWE history, with probably the greatest debut in WWE history, where we saw the Big Red Machine Kane finally confront his brother, The Undertaker. Years have passed, and the Hell in a Cell match slowly started to deteriorate and become less important. Vince McMahon ruined the entire structure. He ruined the entire gimmick. On some years, doing 3 or 4 Hell in a Cell matches in a single year, sometimes in a single show. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have been embroiled in one of the best feuds in WWE all year, probably the best feud in WWE all year, one of the best feuds in all of professional wrestling all year, and certainly one of the best feuds that WWE has seen in the last decade. Some of you might not like it for its childish direction with CM Punk's bracelet. Everything that we got up until this point made sense. Everything that we got up until this point, I would not have changed a single thing. It was certainly one of the greatest happenstances in WWE history, because CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, the way that we got here, it wasn't supposed to be. They were never set on a collision course with each other the way that we got it. It was never in the plans. It came about because CM Punk came back to the WWE after 10 years, again, to the event, and competed in the Royal Rumble, where he went into that match and lasted all the way up until the final 2 with Cody Rhodes. But something happened in that match, and he got seriously injured, an injury that kept him out for the majority of this year, only to come back and be ready for SummerSlam in August. It is amazing to see how we got here. And I said it on social media. Nobody believed CM Punk was going to be back in the WWE. If you had that on your bingo card before the last couple of years, I don't think anybody would have guessed that CM Punk would be back in WWE. My camera's froze. Hold on one second. There you go. Sorry, guys. My camera got frozen. I'm sorry. Not like I'm doing anything overly strenuous here. Nobody's bingo card had CM Punk back in the WWE. Nobody. He showed up at Survivor Series. He walks into the WWE. He enters the Royal Rumble. He gets hurt. It was supposed to be Punk and Seth Rollins. He's out the rest of the year. And WWE builds a feud with him and Drew McIntyre in a different direction. from what they had originally planned for CM Punk. And this is the end result. Months and months and months and months of story had gone into this. McIntyre and Punk and McIntyre back and forth on microphone. Punk showing up at WrestleMania, Punk showing up in Scotland, Punk showing up at Money in the Bank. And look at where we got. All that story built month over month over month over month over month into SummerSlam, into what we got today. Berlin with the strap match, into Hell in a Cell. Everything that I've seen, everything you've seen, what is the biggest thing that stands out? Why did this match feel so important? Why did this feel larger than life? Why was it so emotional? Why was it so brutal? Why did everything just jump off the screen tonight? I'll give you one guess, folks. I'll give you one guess. Story. Story is everything. The reason why we got to tonight, and the reason why tonight was special, is because of the story. That's it. There's no other way for me to put it. What CM Punk and Drew McIntyre did tonight, they revitalized a dead concept that Vince no longer gave a shit about. They went into something sacred. They brought back what was a huge part of all of our childhoods. They went back into 1997. They even dug into the WrestleMania bag at WrestleMania 13 with Bret the Hitman Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin in their fabled submission match. This Hell in a Cell match was a love letter from CM Punk and Drew McIntyre to us pro wrestling fans. Not only did they revitalize the Hell in a Cell, not only did they give us the best feud of the WWE calendar year, but this was a statement. This was a defining moment in the Paul Levesque era. Triple H basically let these guys go out there on a canvas that was totally destroyed, telling them go and revitalize it and go and do what my father-in-law killed. Bring it back to life. We saw blood, a lot of it. We saw violence. We saw destruction. We saw two guys go in there and sell the final chapter of their feud in the best possible way that we could get inside one of the most demonic structures that the entire company has ever seen. This was a statement match, a statement in the Paul Levesque era, a statement on how things should be done. A statement on how things should have never changed. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre delivered a Hell in a Cell match that will go down as one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time, and probably the best Hell in a Cell match in nearly 15 years. And it will go down as one of CM Punk's all-time crowning achievements when his career is over. That's what they did tonight. That's what they did tonight. And I stand by that. But you'll hear a lot of CM Punk negativity. You'll see a lot of CM Punk hate. Oh, CM Punk is washed. Oh, CM Punk don't have it anymore. Oh, CM Punk is never important. We don't need him on the other side. CM Punk just went out there and showed you how valuable, how absolutely irreplaceable he truly is when he is healthy. Because I said this on Wednesday, I said it last week, I said it the week before that. If you don't have story and you don't have emotion, you have nothing. Those two things gave you everything. Those two men tonight gave you everything in that Hell in a Cell match. Fucking great. And lucky that you got it tonight when Punk is able to give it to you. Because every time he steps in there, I have a very bad feeling in my body that he's going to walk out on the other side injured. But I got to give him credit. I got to give Drew McIntyre credit. They went in there for 30 plus minutes and fucking killed it. They killed it. After that, the show itself, they opened the show with that, believe it or not. Hell in the Cell opened the show. That's a great way to open the show. But the thing is, after that, who the fuck is going to follow what they did in that match? I'm about to, you know what? I'm about to close the chat down. I really am. Because a lot of you guys are starting to piss me off. And I am going to close the chat down because, you know, you don't know when to quit. And to be quite honest with you, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Nobody got attacked. Nobody got attacked outside their tour bus. Nobody is bleeding. The Rock didn't attack anybody. KO didn't turn heel. Come on. You want to chat? Now you got to join the membership. Simple as that. Kim G with a $100 super chat. Wow, this event exceeded my expectations for sure. Now this is memorable. This is how you build a road to WrestleMania. Hell in a Cell is back. That was a banger times 2. Much love, JD. OTS for life. Did he really get attacked? Did he really get attacked? Is what I want to know. I gotta say, you guys are sending it so quick in the chat. I don't know whether it's a fucking troll or if it's fucking legit. I don't fucking know. Now my phone don't even want to work. My phone don't even want to tell me that Cody Rhodes got attacked. There's footage where? There's no footage. There's legitimately no footage. Where? Can someone send me a link in the chat, please? Oh, you did. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Well, why did that happen here though? Man, Friday is going to be something else. Huh? All right, I guess I could take. I guess I could let everybody chat now. Huh? Should I let the chat tonight on the stream? I apologize, everybody. What the fuck do you want me to say, man? It's a grainy clip from Wrestle Purist. What the fuck do you want me to say? I don't know what the fuck is going on. That's why he couldn't make it to the press conference. Man, you guys are fucking crazy, man. Jesus Christ, what the fuck do you want me to say in regards to a grainy clip of KO attacking Cody Rhodes? I don't know why the fuck it happened tonight. I apologize to you guys, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm doing my thing here. I got my shit all together. I'm here to talk about the show. You guys want me to talk about Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Fucking crazy, man. Holy shit. Obviously, it's not a surprise to anybody. How many people predicted he was going to turn heel? I mean, you've seen it brewing for the last couple of weeks. They were on our last night's show. But, I mean, you've seen everything develop up until this point. Why would KO be okay with Cody Rhodes helping Roman Reigns when Kevin Owens and his life and his best friend were ruined by the bloodline? I guess we're not getting that War Games match that everybody started to come up with, huh? Cody, KO, Randy, and Roman against the bloodline. I guess that's not happening. Crazy. Cody and Kevin are punks. I don't know why you're mentioning the Bucks. I don't really care. I don't really care. But yeah, I guess we'll find out on Friday. Friday's going to be one hell of a show then, huh? If you guys don't know what I'm talking, I clearly didn't know what the fuck the chat was talking about. If you guys are just joining me, KO jumped Cody Rhodes. He was supposed to be at the post-show press conference that is going on right now, supposedly. But KO attacked Cody Rhodes outside his tour bus. Friday's going to be a very interesting situation. Now, I don't make people mods. I don't make people mods just out of the blue. You got to earn your mod status here. I apologize to the chat. You guys were trolling so badly. I didn't know whether this was a real thing or not, man. You guys want me to see? This is the thing when I go live, and I'm focused on the show. I'm focused on the notes. I'm focused on what happened on tonight's program. I don't really know what's going on until after I'm finished. We'll figure it out. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. You got your moment in, now you got your moment in the sun. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, so there you go. Fine. Hell in a Cell was fucking fantastic. Let's backtrack. Hell in a Cell was fucking fantastic. Punk and McIntyre, I'll repeat everything that I just said when we break the match down. Great fucking match. The problem with Hell in a Cell opening the show is, and obviously a lot of people came up with the situation of, well, if they're not closing the show, which a lot of people lobbied for them to close the show, if they're not closing the show, then something major has to be going down at the end of the show. So I don't know how you guys feel about it. Clearly, The Rock, he didn't really do much. He came out and gave the throat slash to Roman and Cody. Who knows if The Rock has something to do with that? Maybe he whispered in KO's ear. Well, KO don't really need The Rock to tell him to do anything. KO's just going to act on his own. But The Rock didn't really do much of anything but send an ominous message to the OG Bloodline. So clearly something big was going to go down at the end of the show. Rock said, no, we're not going to close the Punk and McIntyre, man. I'm back. I got to be out there. He didn't really say much of anything. I don't know if he's going to be on Friday's show. I mean, I wish he would have said something. I'm sure he said something on social media. I think my guy Salrex sent me a clip of Rock saying something on Instagram, so I'll watch that after the stream is over. But that's what happens when you open the show with a Hell in a Cell, man. Everything from that point on, because it was so unbelievable what those two guys did, everything is going to go downhill after that. Nia and Bayley, they followed with Nia Jax and Bayley for the Women's Championship, man. That was a death spot for both of those ladies. They did not pick up where Punk and McIntyre left off. Nobody gave a shit. Even Balor and Priest, after that, they struggled to get the crowd on board. Then you go to Rhea and Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. That didn't even get the crowd back into it. Plus the botched ending, which took a lot of people out of it even further. And then we get the main event. Then we get Reigns and Cody versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. This show was bookended by two huge double main events. Everything in between, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it was like, oh my God, the worst show ever. We've seen a lot worse. But a lot of it, I was just, as a fan, from me to you, I was genuinely struggling to stay invested after what we were just getting. But that's what happens. That's what happens. Now, if they didn't start to show off with Hell in a Cell, then it might have gone a different way. But that's what they opted to do. That's the decision that they made. That whole Hell in a Cell match just took everybody out of the show until we got to the main event. Well, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but we're going to break this thing down because the two matches that we got at the start and at the end, they were more than enough to give this a thumbs-up show. Everything in between, it is very questionable and very subjective. But I've been saying for weeks, Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood was going to be an old-timer. Punk and McIntyre did more than enough to make it an old-timer. Reigns and Cody, first time teaming up together against the Bloodline. Rock showed up. Jimmy Uso came back. He's got back in the good graces of Roman Reigns. I still give it a thumbs up show. But WWE had a lot to kind of navigate through in the middle of that show to get to the main event because of how great Punk and McIntyre ended up being. So we're going to break this thing down. I appreciate you guys very much for joining me here in the Bad Blood post-show right here on the channel. We got a lot of support here tonight. Thank you guys very much. We got 3,700 people in the chat. I appreciate you guys very, very much. We're going to break this thing down like nobody else tonight. And let me get the nonsense out of the way. Super chats are open. You guys are already showing some unbelievable support. So make sure you guys get those super chats in. You let me know what you're thinking about Bad Blood. Let me know what you're thinking about Cody and KO. How you feeling about that? I found that a little late. I trolled the chat myself by taking everybody and benching everybody. I thought everybody was trolling me. Questions, comments, concerns? Sound off in the super chat, man. Love the energy so far tonight. Hit that thumbs up. We got 900 likes. I would love to see that at 2,000 likes. That is the goal. So if you're in the chat, have not hit the thumbs up, please do so. Helps me out tremendously. Go check out all the other content, man. We are on day 6 of constant content. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm taking tomorrow off. I'll see you guys back on Monday, but what a week it's been, man. Busy, busy week, and next week's going to be even bigger because we got more. We got Title Tuesday, we got NXT, we got Raw, we got SmackDown. Tuesday Night Titans is going to be on Wednesday. We got Wrestle Dream on Saturday. The work never ends, man. The work never ends. So go check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Tonight's sponsor, we are sponsored tonight by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. You want to be the final boss? You guys know what to do, man. Blue Chew. Code JD, free sample. All you got to do is pay the $5. Shipping and handling. David in the chat, VIP here on OTX. David says 2-hour Raw on Monday. We're going back to 2 hours, man. No more 3-hour Raws. And yes, we will talk about the crown jewel titles that Triple H said tonight was a huge announcement. And I apologize for my camera freezing. I did not know that was going to happen, so I apologize. Everybody flipped out about that, too. This is a new setup here, so I'm working out the kinks. I was messing with the camera earlier. Something happened, so hopefully it doesn't happen again, but I apologize for that little inconvenience. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But I thank you guys for joining me here on the Bad Blood post-show. Love to see it. Love to see it. We are, right now, I guess, I should say, we're number one in the community by far. We got almost 3,600 people in here watching on a Saturday night. I love it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support. Always, always, always. You guys show up big. When OTS is live and something big happens, you're always right here, and I love that, man. Thank you guys very much for all the support. First of all, I want to say Bad Blood being back is a great thing. I love that Bad Blood is back. It goes with my childhood. I remember I watched clips all day of that Kane debut inside Hell in a Cell, 1997, St. Louis. Bad Blood with 2 D's. It was B-A-D-D, Blood, back in the day. Today we're spelling it proper. But that Hell in a Cell match, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, man, the reason why that Hell in a Cell match happened stemmed from the SummerSlam incident where Shawn Michaels accidentally hit The Undertaker in the face with a steel chair as the special guest referee, giving Bret the Hitman Hart the WWF Championship in New Jersey at SummerSlam that year. So obviously, the fact that The Undertaker got royally screwed out of the WWF Championship at the time, and Bret was a great heel at the time. There's no better way to settle their differences than inside Hell in the Cell. And that ended up being one of the best matches that WWE's ever done. A match that has stood the test of time, a match that has influenced how many performers over the years. You go back and watch it, it's still just as great as the first time you watched it. Man, did CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have a lot to live up to. Did they have a lot to live up to, man? I didn't think that they were going to do it. Honestly, I did not think they were going to do it. And that doesn't mean I don't trust Drew McIntyre or don't trust CM Punk. But given CM Punk's history and the fact that he's injury prone, he's been very good since he's been back. He looks fantastic. CM Punk is still just as valuable now as he was then. It's probably more valuable to WWE now, in my personal opinion. But I always worry when he gets into the ring. They had lofty expectations. Lofty expectations to live up to what they were going at. Hell in a Cell was ruined. The match did not feel special anymore. The match did not feel violent enough. The match did not feel brutal enough. Some years, WWE, Vince, because it's all Vince, some years Vince would start a feud inside Hell in a Cell. I remember he started when Sasha Banks and Bayley feuded on the main roster. He started their feud on the main roster inside Hell in a Cell. Those are things, those are decisions I can't stand behind. This match is unique. This match is one of a kind. This match is something that we should not get all that often. It should be a rarity. If a feud calls for it, then we do it. I remember in Scotland when CM Punk showed up wearing a referee shirt, and some geek reporter at post-show media scrum in Scotland after Clash of the Castle asked him, "Would you ever get inside a Hell in a Cell match?" CM Punk said, "You want me and Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell and I am still injured and we haven't wrestled one match yet?" He said to that guy, plain and simple, "Good thing you ain't booking the fucking show." As soon as they announced Bad Blood, we knew Hell in a Cell was coming back. As soon as they announced Bad Blood, we knew who was going to be inside Hell in a Cell, because there was no other feud on this show that would have warranted Hell in a Cell. Enter CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. The violence was brought back. The red cell is gone. Blood. Man, did WWE glorify blood tonight. All over Drew McIntyre's face. All over CM Punk's face. And they zoomed in on it, too. They were not afraid to shoot that blood dripping down Drew McIntyre's face. There was even a point where the referee had to get in there and wipe their faces clean because he was worried that they wouldn't be able to see. Drew McIntyre said, "Fuck that shit." He took the towel and threw it away. This is exactly what it needed to be. I loved everything about this. This was the perfect finale. This was the revitalization that Hell in a Cell needed. This shut up a lot of people about CM Punk. Shut up a lot of people about CM Punk. One of the best storytellers in the business, a guy that gets the emotion and feeds off of it. It feeds him. It makes him better. Blood. How many times do we see everybody on AEW television bleed buckets weekly? How many times do we see that in WWE? Zero. If it happens, it's a bloody nose or a bloody lip or something happened where it's just a complete accident. WWE doesn't use blood. They don't allow their roster and their performers to bleed. Whereas Tony Khan goes out there and you'll see 10 matches on a show and 6 of them will include blood. It's not the way to go about things, man. It's not the way to go about things. The fact that we saw a lot of blood and they focused on the blood and they were not afraid to shoot away from the blood They zoomed in on it. They glorified it tonight. It made it that much more impactful. It made the entire match, because that was one of the things that a lot of people cried about when Vince ran his administration running WWE. You would get performers going inside Hell in a Cell going 20, 25 minutes, not a drop of fucking blood anyway. But this is the type of match where you should expect that type of environment. CM Punk knew it, Drew McIntyre knew it, and they made it feel special. They made it feel special. And shout out to Drew McIntyre, too. I know a lot of people are going to be praising CM Punk tonight, and rightfully so, because he looked fantastic tonight. But shout out to Drew McIntyre, too, man. If you guys are going to be conducting your best of list, this match is certainly going to be on there. But if you're going to be conducting Wrestler of the Year lists, and you don't include Drew McIntyre in the top of those discussions for Best Wrestler of 2024 or Top Performer of 2024, you're going about it all the wrong way, man. Drew McIntyre deserves just as many flowers as anybody else this year. He's in that discussion with Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson and Gunther. He may actually be the top performer this year because there's not many people who go out there and are given the story that he's given, and they just nail it every single week. He did. So yes, Drew McIntyre absolutely deserves top billing when you sit down and conduct top performer in 2024. I know he will be for me. This match was incredible. Loved everything about it. McIntyre sent Punk into the cage. First of all, they went about just doing their regular entrances. McIntyre got his entrance. I thought Punk was going to come out with some maybe special theme. They went about it. It was serious as serious could be. The cell was already lowered. WWE, by the way, uploaded over 3 hours of the workers. I don't know when this was. I'm sure this was already constructed well before today. But they uploaded 3 hours of construction workers putting together the Hell in a Cell. You saw the actual process from one still cam on their YouTube channel, how the entire structure is built. So that was pretty cool. No, I did not watch all 3 hours. I can't sit there and watch all 3 hours of that, but they came out, they got their ring entrances, the cage was already lowered, the bell rings, and they meet in the middle. McIntyre starts talking shit to CM Punk, and they start going at it, brawling, punching each other. McIntyre sent Punk into the cage. The crowd chanted for tables. I said this last night. The crowd chanted for tables 2 minutes into the match. As soon as both guys go to the outside, "We want tables!" It's one of probably my least favorite chants in all of pro wrestling. You guys don't like the what? I hate the "we want tables." It is so forced. Every hardcore match, every no DQ match, every street fight, "We want tables!" Fuck out of here. What are we, 5 years old? So crowd chanted "We want tables" 2 minutes into the match. Punk grabbed the table and a chair, but McIntyre used the chair on Punk. McIntyre used his boot to just squash Cody's face into the steel steps. McIntyre grabbed the wrench out of the toolbox. He did not grab the toolbox, he just grabbed the wrench. Punk ducked and stabbed McIntyre in the head with it. McIntyre ripped the legs off the table, tried to use it as a weapon, so a folding table came into play. So they got what they wanted, but McIntyre didn't really use the table the way they wanted it to use the table. He ripped the legs off the table, started using the legs of the table as a weapon on CM Punk. He tried to do it again for a second time. Punk ducked it and started choking Drew McIntyre with the legs of the chair. He also slammed McIntyre on the upside down table, which was brutal because there's etching and there's like different parts on the table, steel beams underneath the table. He's just throwing McIntyre's back on top of the table that's flipped upside down on its front. Ridiculous. Punk then tried stabbing McIntyre with the legs. McIntyre eventually escaped. Punk went after McIntyre outside. McIntyre dropped him with a Claymore kick right in front of the commentary table on the outside. There was not a lot of room on the outside from where the ring is and the cage ends. There wasn't a lot of room outside, man. It was certainly a demonic structure for sure. Very reminiscent of the 1997. So he delivered a Claymore kick. McIntyre then long darted Punk into the side of the cage, which Punk sold, and he looked to be in tremendous pain. Punk came back. He was bleeding. He got up. There was a lot of blood, actually, in fact, on CM Punk's face. There was blood everywhere. McIntyre smashed his face with the steel steps and stomped his head on top of the steel steps. So Punk is just being brutalized at this point in the match, and there's blood everywhere. And this is where it really got turned up as far as the violence is concerned. McIntyre told Punk he would end his career. The camera zoomed in on him. He's going to end his career, and his wife is going to leave him, he said, to CM Punk. These are the same words that he said on Monday when they met face-to-face. So he gets the wrench. McIntyre grabs the wrench and starts inflicting more punishment on Punk's wound with the wrench. So the open wound and the wrench. You can imagine what McIntyre's thinking as he's doing this. Brutal stuff. So the crowd's trying to get Punk back into it. He fought back. McIntyre cut him off with a big overhead suplex. Wow. A wrestling move in this violence. McIntyre set up for a Claymore, but Punk slipped out of the ring. McIntyre then went after Punk. Punk has a last-ditch effort. He's on the outside, and McIntyre's going through the ropes. He's going to try and grab Punk and bring him back into the ring. Punk takes the actual toolbox that McIntyre looked for earlier and grabbed just the wrench. He took the whole toolbox and bashed McIntyre over the head with the toolbox. It made a great sound, hitting the flesh of Drew McIntyre, and as you would expect, that spot is what just made Drew McIntyre bleed buckets in this match. So blood is streaming down McIntyre's face. Punk repeatedly hit McIntyre in the head with the toolbox. Punk hits a bulldog, a GTS. McIntyre, though, he falls out of the ring. Punk could not make the cover after a nice string of offense. Punk got McIntyre back in the ring, but McIntyre nailed him with a Claymore kick out of nowhere. Goes for a cover, and he gets a near fall. McIntyre gets up from covering CM Punk. His face is just covered in blood. He missed another Claymore. Punk put him in a sharpshooter, which he kind of fell over in first, and then he applied it correctly. And the shot of Punk getting the sharpshooter on Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre trying to lift his body up as if he's doing a push-up. Obviously, it was a throwback. Noticed it immediately. I'm like, there's another Bret Hart reference by Mr. CM Punk. Another Bret Hart reference here, as they did a nice callback or throwback to WrestleMania 13. Bret the Hitman Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the submission match in Chicago for that feud. That was another match that just transcended the business at the time. Ken Shamrock was the special guest referee. Just an iconic moment. You guys know the one with Austin just bleeding as Bret just applies more pressure in the sharpshooter, and he's just wrenching back on that sharpshooter. You see Austin's blood just dripping down his face, man. Fucking great. That was very well done. Very well done. McIntyre, how he got out of it? The wrench. He grabbed the wrench, and he hit Punk while he was in the sharpshooter, and obviously he let go of the sharpshooter. So their sweat had kind of wiped away or washed away some of the blood that was in their face. Referee, like I said, tried to come over and wipe some of the blood off these guys' faces. The crowd actually booed the referee. I don't know why. I mean, you see this in the UFC. I don't know why people were booing it. They made a great call on commentary saying that if you can't see, you can't fight. So it was only a precaution by the referee. He wasn't trying to stop the match for anything. He just wants these guys to go in there and actually be able to see what they're doing without being blinded by their own blood. So they get back to a vertical base and they start exchanging strikes. So now we're getting into another Pier 6 brawl here. They collapse. Both guys go down. It's a nice double down. They chant, "This is awesome." McIntyre gave Punk a vertical suplex at this point. Let me set this up for you. One of the tables that the crowd asked for, McIntyre and Punk set up the table on the outside. The table was just sitting there. So it was opposite side of the commentary, and they're on the apron, and McIntyre takes Punk in a vertical suplex, and vertical suplexes Punk off the apron through this table. It fucking absolutely implodes. And they're both laying in the rope. Fans are chanting, holy shit, holy shit. I'm like, this is why I get nervous when I watch a CM Punk match, man. Is he gonna get up? Is he gonna be laying there and they're gonna stretch him out? Did he tear a ligament? Did he break something? He's just laying there. He's not even moving. McIntyre gets up first. He rises from the rubble. So that got a huge pop. Punk is just laying there. At this point, McIntyre is fumbling with the steel steps because he's now got the lower portion of the steel steps and he's trying to throw it into the ring. He finally gets it in the ring after obviously just expending all of his energy. He slides it underneath the bottom row. So he sold his back as he's trying to get the steel steps into the ring. He struggled to get them in the ring. McIntyre, before he could use the steps, Punk nailed him with a GTS. As both guys get into the ring, Punk breaks a cover. He gets a 2 count off of the GTS. McIntyre then picks up CM Punk and delivers a Sheamus white noise on top of the steel steps that he just rolled into the ring. And my God, the sound that Punk's body made hitting those steel steps, man, that was fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. So Punk, I mean, he's writhing in pain at this point. Somehow, after all this, he caught McIntyre in an Anaconda Vice. So he's got his signature submission hold on Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, just like he got out of the sharpshooter, he goes and grabs the wrench again. And he tries to get out of the Anaconda Vice by using the wrench again. Punk grabbed it and started bashing the wrench on McIntyre's face. The referee wiped the blood away the first time. He starts bleeding all over again. The referee tried to come back and wipe his blood. McIntyre said, fuck the towel, takes the towel and throws it away. So he gets on his knees. He starts pleading with CM Punk. Obviously, Punk is in position to end this once and for all. And he's in a prime position, is McIntyre, to do something dastardly. So what does he do? He starts begging. He lures Punk in and delivers a low blow. The Punk is now incapacitated due to the low blow. McIntyre goes underneath the ring. He grabs a bag. Here, I think that there's going to be another throwback to Mick Foley with the thumbtacks from the Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker in Pittsburgh. But in this black bag, there were not thumbtacks. They were pieces of CM Punk's bracelet. So Punk is obviously selling the effects of the low blow. Remember those steel steps that were in the ring. They are there, and Punk is leaning up against them. McIntyre takes his black bag. He dumps all of these pieces of Punk's bracelet all over him. He starts feeding them to CM Punk. He's about to deliver one final Claymore and end it all. And this is the most brutal spot of the entire night. What happened next is the most brutal spot in the entire match and of the entire night. He sets up for a Claymore kick. What do you think Punk does? Punk standing there, laying there. He moves out of the way. And McIntyre delivers a Claymore kick, and his lower back smashes against the outer edge of the steel steps in this Claymore attempt. And my God, man, I wince in pain for Drew McIntyre when he hit the steel steps. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. My back started to hurt when I saw Drew McIntyre laying there, slumped underneath the steel steps. Crazy. Absolutely fucking brutal. At this point, McIntyre ain't going nowhere. CM Punk grabs a steel chain. He wraps the steel chain around his leg, around his knee. He shoves beads that are laid about in the ring. He shoves the beads of the bracelet in McIntyre's mouth. He picks him up. He delivers the GTS with the steel chain wrapped around his knee. Connects flush in the face. He goes for a cover. 1, 2, 3. And CM Punk beats Drew McIntyre in a classic Hell in the Cell. Unbelievable. Feud is over. It is all over. How many times have I told you, man? It's in the intro. It's in the intro to every stream. After I have my beautiful Dark Horse hit the streets, and I'm in the car, and I give you guys my spiel in the intro. You see the outside graphic of the venue, and then the graphic ends, and we go right into the intro. Now, what's in the intro? What is the message in the intro? Long-term booking. Long-term booking is something that I've preached for the last couple of years. It actually started out in AEW, where Vince McMahon wasn't doing it. Now the roles have reversed. Tony Khan ain't doing it, but Triple H is. Pro wrestling is great. We're all here because we love pro wrestling. What makes pro wrestling even better? What makes pro wrestling even better is story, emotion, feeling. There's not many people that make you feel in professional wrestling. Most of these men and women, they want to go out there and have banger matches. Anybody can go out there and have banger matches. Banger matches are a dime a dozen. It's like a drug addict looking for their next fix, that next hit of whatever. How great is that high, and how long does that high last for that drug addict? Not long. They're right back at it as soon as that first hit wears off. They want another one, and they want another one, and they want another one. Tony Khan's like a drug addict. He's like a drug addict. He can't get enough of it. Banger matches, banger matches, banger matches. Before you know it, there's not going to be any more stuff for Tony Khan to get his sticks. You know what's always going to remain? Long-term booking. The reason why this match, the reason why this feud ended the way that it did, felt the way that it did, and lasted as long as it did, is because there was story, there was emotion. Every emotion that a human being can feel, this feud had it. Did they do too much of the bracelet aspect of the story? Sure, but it all made sense. CM Punk was looking for revenge because McIntyre was the one who was taking credit for Punk's injury. He came back and said, what? I'm back to not make friends. I'm back to make money, and I'm back to win the World Championship, and I'm back to my WrestleMania moment that the previous administration did not give me. McIntyre promoted that and took that away from me. So of course Punk was going to be looking for revenge. So what did he do? He waited until WrestleMania. That was strike one. And then he waited for Money in the Bank. That was strike two. And then that strike three came in Scotland, which was the biggest strike of them all, because McIntyre had the World Championship won, and Punk was there and took it away from him. 3 strikes, and you're out. CM Punk didn't have anything to lose. He didn't have the World Championship for McIntyre to go out there and take. He didn't have anything. The man was injured. The man just got back in. He didn't even have one fucking match yet. So what did McIntyre do? He went and made it personal. What else did Punk have to lose? He had his bracelet. The most important thing to CM Punk's world is Larry and his wife. No matter how childish it may sound, the bracelet meant a lot to CM Punk. So what did McIntyre do? He made his mission about CM Punk, the bracelet. I'm going to take this bracelet, I'm going to take your bracelet, I'm going to destroy you, and I'm going to destroy that emotion you feel for your thing. Because I don't have anything else to take from you. The bracelet, and then his career. I thought they played everything perfect. The bracelet aspect of it might have been a little bit too much, but it fit the overall story. And when Punk finally got his bracelet back in Berlin, what did McIntyre do? He took the bracelet back, broke the fucking bracelet, and fed the remnants of the bracelet to CM Punk the very next night. Then that's when the switch and the intensity was just changed. The entire story, which is how we landed inside Hell in a Cell. This entire feud, when you go back and look at it, the best feud in WWE all year. McIntyre, like I said, deserves his flowers. CM Punk showed everybody that he's still capable of having a great match. This will go down as one of CM Punk's crowning achievements. This will go back, or down rather, as one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in the last 15 years. And this was a revitalization of a dead concept that the previous administration no longer cared for. It was a defining piece of business in the Triple H era to show you and tell you, this is what we're going to do. You want story? You're going to get it. You want emotion? You're going to get it. You want matches that made WWE special back to the way they feel? You're going to get it. You want things to make sense. You want blood. Blood. When it counts, you're going to get it. This match did everything so right. This match did more than just end a great story. It did so much more than that. And that is what I'm going to try and push onto everybody. What you did not get, what you found to be special was destroyed. And now this administration is bringing it back. They brought it back. Punk wanted to make this match feel special again. He exceeded everybody's expectations. CM Punk, what does he do now? Clearly, he's going after the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. He mentioned Gunther. He's eyeing Gunther. He's going to get Gunther. Gunther versus Punk at Survivor Series in Vancouver, November 30th. It's going to go down. What happens at that point, I don't know. I don't know. But my question is, an even bigger question is, if Punk and McIntyre are going to exist on the same brand, is it really over after this match tonight? Going into Monday Night Raw, is it really over? If you're Drew McIntyre, do you really want it to be over? Is he not going to lay another hand on CM Punk? Is he going to be like, all right, we ended it, it's over. Good job, man. How are they going to play that out? I don't know how they coexist on the same brand. If McIntyre sees Punk going after the World Championship, don't you think that he would do everything in his power to stop CM Punk from winning the World Championship? You don't think McIntyre wants the World Championship? How are they going to play that aspect of the entire story? Maybe they don't. Maybe they just go their separate ways. I don't know. But this match was just more than a great Hell in a Cell match. This match was just more than a big-time match for both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This was so much more than that. And I hope you guys really understand. Excellent stuff by both of these guys. Now, after that, it should be on its way to being a banger show, right? I don't know how anybody topped what they did inside that Hell in a Cell. Nobody was going to top what they did. I think WWE really knew that. Which was one of the downfalls of doing this match first. There was legitimately nobody up until the main event that was even going to come close to topping what those guys did. So we go from that to Nia Jax and Bayley, the WWE Women's Championship. Before that, we got Jacqueline Lillian Garcia and Booker T shown in the crowd. WWE invited several legends to Atlanta for Bad Blood tonight. These were the first three that were shown on camera. Kathy Kelly interviewed Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. They were the hosts of Bad Blood, and they were up in the suite. So they were having a party. Jey Uso was up there. Diamond Dallas Page was up there. X-Pac was up there. So everybody was having a good time. What the fuck are they drinking? I don't know. I don't know. So there was a party in the suite with fans and a few active and a few former wrestlers, like I said, Jey Uso, DDP, X-Pac, all up there partying. Naomi gave Jey a shout-out, wished Bayley the best of luck in her match. Bianca Belair sarcastically said, yeah, go do your thing, Bayley. She really does not like Bayley at all. So they're really playing that up, and I wonder if that has any storyline implications for what's going to happen with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill on those tag team championships. We'll see. Nia Jax and Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. There was no way these ladies were going to follow Hell in a Cell, but they tried. They tried, and this match, to me, felt very, very off. And I know I'm not the only one that felt that way. This match was a roller coaster. Was it bad? I don't want to say it was like the worst thing I've ever seen, but there was one point in the match, and I'm talking specifically about big moves. There was one point in this match where I asked myself, I don't know who's doing what. I don't know if Bayley is doing offense to Nia. I don't know if Nia is doing offense to Bayley. I don't know. There were some moves in this match that were executed where I genuinely had to think, who took the brunt of this offense? Most of it was one big botch, in my honest opinion. I don't know if you guys felt that same way, but this entire match felt off. I mean, I didn't give a shit about it going into SummerSlam, and I certainly didn't give a shit about it coming into tonight's show. So Nia Jax dominated for the first couple of minutes of this match. She set up her finish. Bayley got underneath and set up for a powerbomb. Jax, commentary tried to play this off as Nia Jax countering Bayley's powerbomb out of the corner into a hurricanrana. No. I actually laughed my ass off and I said, no, that was not a hurricanrana. This was basically Bayley throwing herself from a, whatever the fuck you call it, from Nia Jax, pretending like Nia did a hurricanrana. No thank you. This was not a hurricanrana. Bayley did not get tossed over in a hurricanrana, and Nia is in no possible way, shape, or form delivering a fucking hurricanrana. No. Give me a break. It was a bad idea. I don't know why they thought it. I don't know why it made it into the match, and it did not look good. Bayley hits a sunset flip powerbomb into the corner, and Nia landed on top of Bayley. Again, I don't know what was going on. We got the hurricanrana spot. We got that sunset flip powerbomb spot. Bayley tried to do it to Nia, but then Nia just landed right on top of Bayley. Again, I don't know if that was really an offensive maneuver from Bayley, because Nia didn't take the worst of it. Bayley got the worst of it. So after the sunset flip powerbomb, Nia Jax charged at Bayley outside, but she moved, and Jax crashed into the steel steps. Bayley then hit an elbow off of the steps, which looked great. That looked great on the outside. Nia Jax, she powerbombed Bayley on top of the steel steps, and it looked like it was very, very weak, very soft-looking powerbomb on top of the steel steps. Meanwhile, we're getting fucking white noise by McIntyre on CM Punk on top of the steel steps. McIntyre's missing claymores and having his lower back absolutely destroyed on the steel steps. Here we got Nia Jax. But she put Bayley down to sleep on a nice comfy bed. If you're not going to execute the move, then I don't know why we're executing the move. Then she takes Bayley and throws her into the barricade, which actually looked a lot more devastating than the powerbomb spot on top of the steel steps. Nia Jax followed with a Samoan drop for 2. Bayley followed with her own Samoan drop, which looked impressive. Jessica Carr, I don't know what happened here. Jessica Carr got in between these two ladies, and something happened. I don't know what Bayley was going for. She knocked Nia silly with something. I forgot what it was, a punch or a kick or some type of big strike. And Nia is all dizzy, and she falls on top of Jessica Carr and squashes Jessica Carr falls flat on her face, does the referee, and Nia squashes her in the middle of the ring. So we got no referee. With everybody down, Tiffany Stratton's music goes off. She runs down the aisle with her briefcase. Stratton tries to wake up Jessica Carr. As Nia Jax is laying there, she sees Tiffy standing there, handing the briefcase to Jessica Carr, wanting to cash. And Nia Jax sits up like the Undertaker. And she looks at Tiffany Stratton, and she looks at the referee holding the briefcase. Jax confronted Stratton, who was pleading with her, no, I wasn't going to cash in. I wasn't going to cash in. Yes, you were. I hope you did. Bayley used this distraction, applied a roll-up on Nia, and only got a 2 count. Bayley went to the top, but Stratton threw the briefcase at Bayley, who was distracted by this. Bayley caught it, threw it back. She was obviously taking her eyes off of Nia Jax. So Nia Jax jumps up to the second rope and delivers a second rope Samoan drop. Nia Jax quickly dragged Bayley over to the apron, positioned her for the Annihilate. And that was it. 1, 2, 3. And Nia Jax retains the WWE Women's Championship. They tried. It wasn't terrible, because we know what terrible is. It wasn't good, but I was actually kind of disappointed that Tiffany Stratton did not cash in the briefcase. I thought we were certainly getting it tonight with everything that we've been building to up until tonight. I thought we were going to crown a new champion, and it wasn't going to be Bayley. Tiffany Stratton should have cashed in. Tiffany Stratton should have walked out of Bad Blood, the new WWE Women's Champion. My point is, why I say this, is because Nia is not doing anything really all that interesting with the championship. This is now the second time that we've got Nia and Bayley competing for the Women's Championship. This is the same match that we got at SummerSlam. There isn't any top-tier story on Friday night. There isn't anything uber exciting at the top of the card for the women's division for this championship. Tiffany Stratton is legitimately the most interesting aspect, and a lot of that is coming in the form of the briefcase and when she's going to cash that in. I don't know what they're waiting for as far as Nia Jax. I don't. Maybe they're waiting for Charlotte. This is what I've come up with, because there really is nobody else. Who else is Nia now going to feud with over the Women's Championship? How many other women are on this show that Nia could legitimately feud with over the Women's Championship? I think she's been in the ring with almost everybody. Naomi, Bayley, Jade, and Bianca are tag team champions. I don't even know. Mia Yim is on SmackDown. I think Mia Yim is kind of slowly coming up the ranks on SmackDown, but she's in no way, shape, or form a believable opponent for Nia Jax. Chelsea Green, they had a great dumpster match on Friday night. Neither one of those women are in position to wrestle for the World Championship. So what I came up with is they are probably waiting for Charlotte Flair to come back. I don't know when she's due back. I don't even know if she's going to be back this year. I don't. Charlotte may actually come back in the Royal Rumble. I don't want her to be back. Just a huge asset to the division, but I know exactly what's going to happen when she comes back. It's going to be right back to being fucking Android on Friday night. Does Charlotte come back and challenge Nia Jax, the Queen, versus the Queen? I know Jade Cargill is a tag team champion with Bianca Belair. Does Jade Cargill get involved with Nia Jax? I know they had a little something going on in the beginning of the year. Maybe they go back to that. I don't know. But there really isn't anything right now on Friday nights that's captivating our interest as far as the Women's Championship, which is why I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger on Tiffany Stratton tonight. I think the division needs a reset in the worst possible way. But then you start to ask the question, well, if they gave the title to Tiffany Stratton, what does she do? SmackDown's women's division right now is not all that deep. There's a depth issue. There's a major storyline issue. They got a lot of shit to figure out. So we'll see what happens. But Tiffany Stratton teased the cash in. Not tonight. Nia retains. There was no way these ladies were following Punk and McIntyre. The whole match to me felt off. It felt like one big botch for 12 minutes. Xavier Woods. He plugged the new Dragon Ball Z video game, which was the sponsor for the next match, which was Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Two members of, or Damian Priest rather, was a former member of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor is now the leader of the Judgment Day. So it's ex-member of the Judgment Day versus current leader of the Judgment Day. We got more legends. X-Pac, he came down from the party. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson were shown in the crowd. Oh my goodness. Let those Tessa Blanchard rumors now commence. Arn Anderson, man, he's back. I'd love to see him attached to Cody Rhodes in some way, shape, or form. I think that would be great. Arn Anderson leading Cody Rhodes as a manager on Monday night, or Friday night, rather. I think that would be great. They showed Quavo, Lil Baby, and Metro Boomin in the crowd. Michael Cole apparently is up on his rap game. I am not. I never heard any of these individuals before tonight. Damian Priest and Finn Balor, one-on-one. Went 13 minutes. Finn Balor entered wearing a mask, and he had his F logo painted underneath his left eye. There was a good spot early on where Damian Priest caught Finn Balor the right hand, and he came off the top rope. Balor really sold the effects of this, and Priest sold it like he hurt his hand. Balor, he takes control of this match. Priest fought back. We got some strikes by Damian Priest, which led to a broken arrow. That's his Falcon arrow. He calls it the broken arrow. You got a 2 count. Damian Priest avoided a sling blade, hit a clothesline for a 2. Damian Priest used kicks, and Balor came back with a kick of his own, a nice Pele kick. Priest followed with a Razor's Edge. He goes for cover on Balor. He only gets a 2 count. Balor, he rolls to the outside. Priest, he follows him outside. He shoves him over the announce desk. Damian Priest gave Balor a Razor's Edge onto the ring apron. Carlito all of a sudden ran out. We got a distraction from the Judgment Day. And joining him out there is JD McDouble. He's out there. He attacked Priest. Balor hit a drop kick. And he follows up with a coup de grace on Damian Priest for a very close 2 count. Crowd chanted yeet for whatever reason. Balor tried to use a chair, but Priest kicked it into his face. Priest also wiped out Carlito and JD McRib, who is still out there. Balor hit Priest with a headlock, elbow drop. Balor hit a coup de grace twice, and he's got the match won. Balor tried for another coup de grace, but Priest avoided it. Hits the South of Heaven chokeslam, and he gets the victory over Finn Balor. 1, 2, 3. As Damian Priest gets some revenge over the Judgment Day. I said it on Monday. I said it for the past couple of Mondays, actually. But I did really talk about it on this past Monday's post show when I was live on YouTube with the Monday Night Raw stream. I talked about Triple H doing these 5-match pay-per-views or PLEs. I said I get it. I understand it. I know why he does it. People made a big deal about it. People really just started and ran off with their own narratives. Oh, there's not enough black talent on the show. He doesn't put black talent on these PLEs. Meanwhile, I said this show legitimately could have been a 6 or 7 match show. You could have easily put Sami Zayn and Gunther on this show for the World Heavyweight Championship. You could have easily put Andrade and Carmelo Part 7 on this show. But we all know what Triple H does is 5-match PLEs. It's quality over quantity. He did the same thing in NXT Black and Gold. He's got you. He's got you. When Triple H knows he's got you, and he gives you a 5-match pay-per-view, and he sees the whispers, and he sees the murmurs online. Oh man, I wish these shows were long. Oh, I wish there was an extra 2 matches on this show. He knows his value. Triple H, what he's done is built a PLE. And the most important shit to him and to management is going on the PLE. But that's not the only thing he's built up in the entire pay-per-view build. He's built 5 matches for the pay-per-view, but in totality, he's built 9 matches. He wasn't going to give you all 9 matches on pay-per-view, but he's got Raw to worry about. He's got SmackDown to worry about. So we got Jey Uso defending the Intercontinental Championship tomorrow against Xavier Woods. We got Sheamus versus Pete Dunne in a barroom brawl or Donnybrook match. That could have easily been on this show, too. We got those 2 matches, and then the main event tomorrow on the 2-hour Raw that we're getting tomorrow. Can't wait. And it's going to be so weird coming on here at 10 o'clock live instead of 11. Gunther will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Sami Zayn in the main event. Gunther versus Sami Zayn should have been on this show tonight. Gunther versus Sami Zayn should have been on this show instead of Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. This was a TV match. So was Nia and Bayley. I would have actually took these 2 matches off, put them on their respective brands. I would have put Gunther versus Sami and Sheamus versus Pete Dunne on this show. If Triple H needs to be fucking called out on something, it's the quality of matches that he's putting on the pay-per-view and leaving some of the good ones off. 5 matches in totality for the show is fine. But then you want to give me Nia Jackson Bayley and pretend like it's a big fucking deal while the match fell flat. Then you want to give me this match, which I think Damian Priest is doing the best work of his fucking career this year. Balor is great. But did this come off to you like a pay-per-view match? No. No, this came off like a TV match on PLE. Gunther versus Sami Zayn should have absolutely been on this show. Pete Dunne versus Sheamus should have absolutely been on this show. I would have taken these last 2 matches should have been booted off the fucking show. If there's anything he needs to be zinged for, called out for, the quality of matches that he's putting on the PLE. 5 is fine. It's the quality of the match that he did. I would have taken this match out. This should have been on Monday's show. Gunther versus Sami should have happened on this show. Now, the thing with this feud, I don't know how much more you have in this feud. There really is nothing else there. What else is there? Damian Priest beat Finn Balor. That's it. It's over. He got his revenge. He got his win. What else does he need to do? What else does he need to prove to Finn Balor? He got his win. Even with the Judgment Day distraction, he got his win. That's it. I don't know how much more... I don't know how many more legs this feud has. I would end it. This is it. Move Damian Priest on to something else. Move Judgment Day on to something else. Maybe they continue the feud with Legado, not Legado, fucking LWO. Legado, LWO. I can't fucking tell the difference anymore. Have them feud with the LWO. What Damian Priest doesn't do, I don't know. But I think this feud between Balor and Priest is over. Triple H. Apparently, we got an announcement that Triple H had a major announcement to the WWE Universe tonight. Now, I don't know what that was. When we heard that he had a major announcement, I'm like, maybe it's a major event coming back. Maybe it's a major city getting a first-time show. Something along those lines. I had no idea he was going to do what he did tonight. And what he did tonight, it actually was met with a lot of dissatisfaction. Triple H came out. They showed him working in Gorilla. And I like when they do that type of shit because we never got to see Vince sitting in the chair. Never. It was like a rarity to see Vince sitting anywhere backstage. They're just so willing and free with it now, you know? But they show Triple H sitting there. He's got his glasses on. He's monitoring the show. We get Triple H's announcement. He's out there. Gets the big reaction. He's in the ring. He says it's hard to believe it was 30 years ago that he was living up the road while terrorizing WCW. He announced a sellout crowd tonight of 16,092. And then he announced it is the largest arena gate in WWE history. And then the fans cheer. The fans cheer for WWE ticket prices going up and up and up and up and up. Backlash broke records. The WWE broke WrestleMania records. WWE then broke Clash of the Castle records. WWE broke Money in the Bank records. WWE broke Berlin records. WWE broke SummerSlam records. WWE now, Berlin was the last arena show that they did. They broke their own record with that show. This show broke Berlin's record. WWE is raising the ticket prices for these standard arena shows. People are buying them like hotcakes to experience the live PLE that WWE puts on. They charge out the ass for these shows. They tout that they broke their own record, which they set 6 times this year, and then the fans cheer. Yes! Thank you for robbing us! Thank you for raising prices in the middle of a fucking economy right now where it's $9 for a fucking carton of eggs! Thank you! Thank you for charging me for $800 for the ticket! It's ridiculous. Fred32 in the chat, man. Here's your 5 seconds of fame. Shut the fuck up. You're in my chat. You do what I say. You follow my lead, bitch. I don't have people to answer to. You sit, order a fucking drink. I'll let Jesse give you a sippy cup, bitch. Drink your orange juice and shut the fuck up. WWE touting their own record, man. Thank you for robbing us even further this month. Fred doesn't think I look at the chat. The chat is legitimately to my right. I see everything, Fred. Jesse, get Fred some apple juice, bro. I think we're out of orange juice, man. I don't even know what we make with orange juice or apple juice. Why does anybody have that shit, man? This is a cocktail bar, man. We make drinks for adults. Fred thought he walked into some fucking McDonald's playground, man. No. Ridiculous. Hooligrim says he pissed in Fred's OJ. Good. Triple H thing starts plugging Crown Jewel. Do we make mimosas here? Chelsea, do we make mimosas here? I like a good mimosa. Triple H plug Crown Jewel. This actually was met with some boos. So, Hunter making an announcement and him getting booed, man. Only Saudi. Only Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Hunter said the event would feature the WWE Champion facing the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm like, uh-oh. Here I am going on some nice spiel about long-term booking and booking with feeling and booking with emotion. Thanks for making my entire speech at the beginning of the fucking show, Paul. Meaningless now. WWE Champion versus World Heavyweight Champion. This would be for both men and women. There's a new title coming to Just Saudi. This is not a new title in WWE. This is not going to be defended at any show but Crown Jewel every November. Or competed for, I should say, every November. The winner would be crowned as the Crown Jewel Champion. WWE Championships held by their respective champions would not be on the line, but there would be a definitive winner. The Crown Jewel Championship was then unveiled He pulls the black cloth off of the championship. It is a huge title, a very, very large title. He says it has 50 carats worth of diamonds. He only unveiled the men's. He did not unveil the women's. I can't imagine the women's is the same size as the men's. But I don't think this is going to be something that the men or women are going to be carrying around with him. This is specifically for Saudi and Crown Jewel. So Gunther interrupted. He comes out there. He said Bad Blood should have its world champion. Yes. His match with Sami Zayn should have been on this show instead of what we've been given up until this point, outside of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Gunther wanted to talk about the legends in the crowd. The crowd chanted for Goldberg, who was sitting in the crowd, front row, behind the commentary team with his son. Gunther mentioned his comment to Bret the Hitman Hart when WWE was in Calgary a couple of weeks ago for Monday Night Raw, that Goldberg was his childhood hero. That was one of the best moments of WWE television all year. He said that was a lie. The best wrestler on earth couldn't be impressed by a one-trick pony like Bill Goldberg. Gunther looks over at Gage, Goldberg's son, and told Gage that Goldberg must be a better father than he ever was a pro wrestler. So this pissed off Bill Goldberg, who got up, took his hat off, took his jacket off, jumped the barricade, and a bunch of security guards were waiting there to stop Bill Goldberg from advancing any further into the ring. Adam Pearce is out there. So all of a sudden, Sami Zayn came out to attack Gunther, but officials and security got in between them. Gunther bailed. Crowd started chanting for Sami Zayn. Goldberg gets into the ring, being that Gunther is now retreated. Triple H raises Goldberg's hand, and he posed for the crowd. Now, the whole story about Bill Goldberg is he's been looking for that one big retirement match. Nobody was willing to give it to him. He looked overseas, potentially at another promotion that was having this superstar-studded show. I don't know if that show ever took place. He was going to go on a whole retirement tour and retire the way he wanted. He was very vocal about retiring and Vince promising him one more match. As long as he got healthy and back into ring shape, I believe Vince says he would give it to him, and then Vince opted not to give it to him. I think that was the story. So Goldberg obviously took anger with WWE. He was very upset at WWE and the past administration for not really living up to their word. Go figure. Calling me shocked. There were rumors that Bill Goldberg was in constant conversation with Tony Khan and AEW, potentially about coming on in and maybe having a retirement match there. I don't know where that would even fit in. Tony Khan offering Bill Goldberg an exorbitant amount of money to come on in and have a retirement match. I mean, please. I mean, we got enough fucking problems over there. Bringing in Bill Goldberg to AEW. I mean, you already have a ton of WCW fucking comparisons. You want to bring in Bill Goldberg, who was critically written off in the last few years of his WWE run. You want to bring that Bill Goldberg to AEW on top of all the other problems that you got? Doesn't sound like a sound move there, TK. I'm glad that did not happen. So I don't know what's happening here with Triple H. Did Triple H talk to Bill Goldberg? Is there discussion going on that Triple H is potentially going to give Bill Goldberg his one final match and ride off into the sunset? I pray to God not. I hope that is not the case. I got bad chills, cold chills, not the good type of chills, thinking that WWE may potentially be building towards Bill Goldberg versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't need to see that. Nobody needs to see that. I don't want to see that. That just sounds fucking terrible. That's all. That is legitimately a nightmare waiting to happen. Nobody wants that. Hopefully that is nothing more than a spot for tonight's show and nothing more. We move on. Now, as far as the championship title for the men and the women that we are now simply calling the Crown Jewel Championship that will be defended or competed for at Crown Jewel, it will be champion versus champion. World champion versus world champion. So that means right now the way things are shaping up, Cody Rhodes will go one-on-one with Gunther at Crown Jewel in 4 weeks. Now, from me to you, everybody knows me as the Triple H shill, right? There's memes online about me and Triple H and all these other nonsensical fucking fictional tales that people want to, spread about me. Oh, JD's on the payroll. I mean, I'm waiting for my fucking check. I don't know where it is. It might have gotten lost in the mail. Maybe I'll buy myself a double Dark Horse whenever I get my fictional check from Paul Levesque. Not everything Triple H does is gold. This is a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. WWE could have simply gone with the same plan of action that they've done with the previous Saudi shows. Now, the Saudi shows in the previous administration, they were nothing more than spectacles for the sake of, hey, give us $75 million and we'll put on a show. It doesn't have to make sense. They're paying us for a good time, and that's what they did. Matches that didn't mean anything, matches that didn't make sense. Give them whatever the fuck they want, right? Robbing them blind. They don't give a fuck. I mean, this is the same government that asked for the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna to be in the fucking greatest Royal Rumble. WWE, for the past couple of Saudi shows, I would say over the last 12 to 18 months, WWE has given us some damn good Saudi shows. They fit into the WWE calendar. They fit into the storylines that they were telling on TV. They made it a part of the show. They made it a part of the build. I don't know what the mentality is here. I don't. From me to you, from my eyes to your ears, the only thing I can think of is that they want to have a show that doesn't impede or get in the way of what they're doing for Survivor Series. There's a lot of stories that they need to tell going into Survivor Series, and from my point of view, Triple H is probably thinking, I don't want to book the Triple H. If there's one thing I can say for certain, if I'm a betting man, I'm putting all my money on what I'm about to say right now. Triple H knows these Saudi shows are bullshit. But what can he do? It's not up to him. It's up to Ari Emanuel, and it's up to TKO. This is a decision that Khan made this deal, Vince McMahon made this deal. This is a deal that they are sunk into for the next 7 years. So what are they going to do? You think the current administration, which right now is operating completely different than the previous administration, operating under long-term storytelling and getting from one point and having it just matter over weeks and months of television. You think this administration wants to be bothered with a nothing show that they know is a nothing show, that they know is nothing more than a fucking easy cash grab? You think this administration wants to be bothered with this nonsense? Most of these shows mean nothing. They are nothing shows. WWE don't even sell tickets to these shows. They make no money off these shows outside what they're making from the Saudi government. They got a nice fixed fee. They get their money. They're in and out. But most of the stories that happens on these shows, they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. They don't want major stories to be played out over there. Why would they? If the rumor is that WrestleMania could potentially be going there, they don't want to hold WrestleMania there. God knows how much Saudi would be paying them to hold a WrestleMania there. But that's the way that I see it. Now, granted, that's just my opinion, but this is a terrible idea. It is. I'm done with the brand versus brand. I am. If you want to do something like that, Survivor Series is the place to do that. Have a Raw versus SmackDown multi-man tag team match if that's the case. Whatever is happening away from War Games, why don't you do that? Raw versus SmackDown could certainly be at the Survivor Series. I mean, it was once upon a time where Raw versus SmackDown went at the only time of the year. Meanwhile, they broke their own brand split rules fucking a dozen times or more during the year with no rhyme or reason, no care in the world. Yet we're supposed to believe, yeah, Survivor Series, where Raw versus SmackDown goes head to head for the first time all year. Pow! No. No, that's not the case. I don't like this idea. Because the idea of champion versus champion, the first thing that pops into my head is, well, who wins? Who wins? Triple H said there's going to be a decisive winner, a definitive winner. Who the fuck do you win? Have win? Gunther over Cody Rhodes. Who gets the win? Who gets the win? Cody or Gunther? Sounds like a pro wrestling company booking themselves into a fucking very, very, very little corner, man. How are you going to get out of that one? So that's your men's match. The women's match is Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Nobody wants to see that. WWE is giving us a Cody versus Gunther match, and there's no story. This is a match that I would have gladly waited for a proper story. That is a money match. That is a big-time match. The American Nightmare, the American Hero versus Gunther, the villain, the foreign villain from Austria. Yeah, we'll give it away because it's Saudi and we're going to be creating this new trophy and you're going to be competing over that. I don't like that at all, man. I think that's awful. You want to do brand versus brand? Then you do it away from the championships because you're only booking yourselves into a corner and making more problems for each other. And you do it at Survivor Series, a traditional 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4, or you want to do something along those lines at Survivor Series. Now, we're going to create a fictional championship that is not going to be defended outside of every November, and we're going to do champion versus champion. You're asking for a mistake. You're asking for trouble when you start doing shit like that. And honestly, I don't think that this is an idea by this administration. I don't think this is an idea by WWE. I think that they were forced into this. I think they had their hand forced, and I think they were forced to create this fucking meaningless title for the sake of the Saudi government. Saudi wanted something else. Saudi wanted a special attraction for their show only, and they paid for it, and WWE didn't have any other way to go about it. They already got King and Queen of the Ring. They already got championships on both shows. Now you're going to add this on top of that. The WWE every year, you can see what they're doing. They're trying to give these shows some level of importance while not having a lot to do with story going into each show. So you got the King and Queen in the Ring, which is going to be something that we get next year, and then you got this nonsense. WWE ain't doing anything super special on these shows. You're going to get these two major championship matches, and then you're going to get some B-level shit that happens on the undercard, 5 matches, in and out, and then we go back to the United States and start building towards Survivor Series. But once you start meddling in that champion versus champion nonsense, you're asking for trouble. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just got done talking about long-term booking, and here we are. Booking Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. They're on opposite brands. What story is there going to be? How am I supposed to care about this when I'm getting this match with no heat? Because Saudi X is something special for their shows. Yeah, let me create some bullshit title and put two of our biggest names in a match with no story going into it. I can't get behind that, bro. I can't get behind that. It would be unfair of me to do that when I criticize AEW for doing that, so now I'm criticizing WWE. This shit sucks. You don't give away a match like that for these people for that championship when it means nothing to your television show. Not a match like that. Terrible, terrible, terrible decision. DDP, Mickie James, and Scott Steiner were in the crowd. They showed Legends all night. Goldberg just got his hand raised by Triple H. And then they showed DDP, Mickie James, and Scott Steiner. There was another segment in the suite. Metro Boomin. Who? I don't know who he is. Metro Boomin was with Belair, Cargill, and Naomi. Kathy Kelly was about to interview him, but they all kind of held their nose and they couldn't breathe. In walked Chelsea Green. She didn't understand why they were all grossed out. Belair looked at her. Honey, you stink. Go take a shower. They're obviously still selling the effects of the dumpster match from last night on Friday Night SmackDown. She was there with Piper Niven. Piper Niven was standing there, and Chelsea asked her to leave with her. And then she told Chelsea, no, I want to stay in part. I want to stay in part. There you go. Chelsea Green. Apparently she got rave reactions backstage after her performance with Mia Yim in the dumpster match. Good for her. It was a fun match last night. Women's World Championship. Monday Night Raw's biggest women's story. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. The WWE Women's World Championship. Dominic Mysterio is suspended above the aisleway because he couldn't be suspended above the ring because above them was the Hell in a Cell. He was suspended in a shark cage above the aisleway. This was disappointing. So after Hell in a Cell, we just continue to slowly go in this trajectory downwards. The show never came back up above sea level until we got to the main event. Not that it was bad. I don't want to sit here and tell you it was bad. We've seen bad. Not emotionally invested in Nia Jackson Bailey. Don't care. Wasn't really all that into Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I couldn't get past the fact that I just felt like it was a Monday Night Raw match. I said that for weeks. I get why they put her on the show. It fits bad blood, but Sami Zayn and Gunther should have been on the show instead of Finn Balor and Damian Priest or Nia Jackson Bailey. It's my opinion. And here, I thought this match was going to be heat-filled and better than what they did at SummerSlam. This felt flat. This felt flat. I don't know if it's the ladies' fault. I don't know if it was just what happened with that Hell in a Cell match being as incredible as it was, and then everything that followed just couldn't catch up. I don't know. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan had a decent match at SummerSlam. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was the greatest match. It was a decent match that had a major angle that played out at the end of it. We've gotten weeks and weeks and weeks of television of Rhea trying to get her championship back. Liv and Dominic's relationship getting stronger. Them throwing in Rhea's face. We got an explanation as to why Dom left Rhea. I just felt like this match never got out of the first gear. Then the ending. The ending is what fucked it up. Just nonsensical. What the fuck is going on here, man? Why is it so bad? I wasn't sure what happened at the end, if it was supposed to go down that way or if it was one big botch. Couldn't tell. The shark cage is suspended over the aisle. Like I said, the Hell in a Cell was still hanging on. Rhea Ripley was amused because Dominic is claustrophobic, and he's also afraid of heights. I am as well. Rhea Ripley was in control. Liv Morgan targeted Rhea Ripley's leg, which was the focus in the story coming into this match. Morgan legitimately missed a chop block, and Ripley did not sell it. So we're off to a resounding start here. Botch. Morgan tackled her by the leg and stopped it in response. Rhea Ripley fought back, hit a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Liv Morgan went right after Rhea Ripley's leg again, slammed it against the ring post. Morgan shoved Ripley into the barricade and hit her with a sunset flip powerbomb into the barricade. That looked brutal. Man, did Liv hit hard on her way down, and did Rhea Ripley hit the barricade, man. Back of the head, neck first, man. Looked great. Back in the ring, Morgan rolls Rhea Ripley back in. She climbs the top rope. She hits a top rope code breaker for a 2 count. That looked great, too. So I'm like, all right, we're off to a decent start here. Morgan went for Oblivion. Rhea Ripley countered by rolling through. Rhea Ripley tried a riptide, but her leg gave out. Morgan hit a crucifix bomb for 2. So far, so good. Morgan did the Eddie Shuffle, tried for 3 amigos. Rhea Ripley blocked the 3rd suplex, hit a Razor's Edge, which I'm assuming Damian Priest taught her how to do one. So Dominic, he's in the shark cage, as you know, and he hit the lock of the shark cage. Man, he learned a lot in prison. He learned how to pick locks in prison. So the cage door all of a sudden opens to the shark cage. Now, he's looking outside. It's too high to jump down. I know I wouldn't have. So the door is open. Rhea Ripley, she's got Liv Morgan in control. She looks up. She starts laughing. She brushed it off, knowing that he had nowhere to go because the cage was so high up. So she goes up top. She does yeet. Crowd does yeet. She goes off with an Eddie Frog Splash. Goes for a cover on Liv. Only gets a 2 count. So now she brings Liv to the outside. Dominic is still hanging up there with the door open. He's looking down. He can't do nothing up there. So they fight outside. They're right underneath the shark cage. Rhea Ripley delivers a riptide to Liv Morgan right in the aisleway. Dominic was concerned. He seemed like he would jump out. And all of a sudden, he takes a couple of steps outside the cage thinking that he was going to jump. He gets tangled. His foot gets tangled in some chain that's in the cage. He steps out of the cage. He's hanging outside the cage, upside down, by his foot, by this steel chain. I'm like, all right, is that supposed to happen? Was that part of the show? Or did that happen and it wasn't supposed to? I don't know. At this point, I couldn't tell. So, he's hanging upside down. Rhea Ripley goes back into the ring. She's in control over Liv Morgan. She just delivered a riptide to the poor girl on the outside. That takes her out for a little bit. So she gets back in the ring. Referee is counting. Rhea Ripley stops the referee count. And the referee is wearing one of them referee cams that they started to implement into the show. Got a camera, got a microphone. We're looking at a POV camera from the referee's point of view, and he's staring right at Rhea Ripley. We got the microphone hooked up as well. Rhea says, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit of a time out. I got business to take care of. I just need a couple of minutes with this guy. Referee says, I don't blame you. You deserve it. So the referee stopped his count to allow Rhea Ripley to go out there and play pinata with Dominic Mysterio. She goes underneath the ring, grabs a kendo stick. She's bashing him with the kendo stick in the aisleway. Referee's not counting. I guess it's referee's discretion. Like Rhea Ripley had the referee in her back pocket. Paid him off. So while all this is happening, all of a sudden, he's getting killed with the kendo stick. Rhea Ripley's beating the shit out of Dominic. Raquel Rodriguez comes out of nowhere. She's wearing all black. She blasts Rhea Ripley from behind, causes a disqualification. She rolls Rhea Ripley back in the ring. She does her finish, which is a one-arm power bomb. She calls it the Tejana bomb. Rhea Ripley's laid out. Liv Morgan's already in the ring. Raquel takes Liv, places her on top of Rhea. The ref already called for the bell. So I don't know what the fucking point of throwing Liv on top of Rhea was. Michael Cole on commentary says, well, clearly that's not a pin. That's going to be a statement pin instead of being a legit pin. I don't know what I'm watching. I didn't know if Dominic was supposed to fall out of the cage, the shark cage, hanging upside down. I wasn't sure what the fuck was going on. I expected Raquel Rodriguez in this match. I think a lot of us predicted she would come back here. Liv Morgan said on Monday, I might not be bigger than you, I might not be stronger than you. I said this on Monday. I knew this was going to come into play. You might be bigger than me, you might be stronger than me, but you're not smarter than me. And they really did play up the history between Liv and Raquel and Rhea. They really played that up. So I expected her in this match at some point. But the way that they went about it, man, what the fuck what did they do? What was that? Man, did they make Raquel look like a fucking dummy out there. The referee already rang for the fucking, like she was lost. The referee rang for the bell. She delivers this finish and then covers Rhea with Liv. Was that supposed to be the ending of the match and the referee wasn't supposed to see it? Did Dominic go out there, supposed to fall? The referee was supposed to be distracted by this, and then Raquel, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fucking ending was supposed to be. I knew Raquel was going to be out there, but the way that they went about it, man, did they just, the whole fucking ending to this was just botched. Then the bell rings, it's a DQ, the fans are upset, the fans don't really remember Raquel. They don't give a shit about Raquel. She got little to zero reaction out there, man. She's got 1,000 deaths out there. Sure, it makes sense. I'm sure we'll hear about it on Monday. But they didn't know who she was. What happens when you throw someone out there the crowd doesn't really know? This was bad. This was bad. If that was the ending, it should have been the end. Raquel should have covered Rhea with Liv after the Takana bomb. I don't know what the fuck happened in the lead up, but I think Raquel was supposed to do that and Liv was supposed to pin Rhea. I don't think this match was supposed to be ended in a DQ. Convoluted and bad. This was not good. Don't know where they go from here. I don't know how they go into Crown Jewel. I'm sure we'll get Rhea versus Raquel. Don't know what they do with Survivor Series. It's going to be interesting how they play this up leading into the rest of the year, because I said it. I thought Rhea would win the championship months ago. I said, Bad Blood's coming out. I think Rhea wins the title. Then I changed my mind because I start to look at the Monday Night Raw Women's roster. It's like, who else is there? If Rhea wins the championship and ends this storyline beating Liv, what else is there? What does Liv do? And who does Rhea defend that championship against? People already cried that Rhea's title run before she was injured and had to vacate the title. She didn't do anything with the title. Her reign was unmemorable. Nobody remembers a fucking thing from her title. Getting injured was probably the best thing for the entire division and Liv Morgan and this storyline. So you want to go back and do that and put the title on Rhea? What does she do after that? Who's next? What does she do? These are questions that were obviously asked. They didn't come up with anything, and they opted to keep the title on Liv Morgan. When does Liv drop the title? I don't know. Survivor Series, Saturday Night's main event. Does she drop it at the Royal Rumble? I'm predicting that we get the rest of the year with Liv Morgan as champion. Then you're going to start to get the arguments, because I see it already. Liv, you're going to get the arguments from social media and the geeks online. Liv deserves to take the title into WrestleMania. Do they go that far? Do they have enough to get Liv and Rhea at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship? I don't know. I don't know. But how they got about this ending here in this match, not good. Not good. Probably the worst match of the entire show. Main event. The University of Arkansas marching band played Cody Rhodes to the ring. Speaking of bad, I could not decipher what the fuck they were tooting and touting on their trombones and on their horns and whatever they were playing. They were supposedly playing Cody Rhodes' theme music. fuck do I know? Sounded awful. The Georgia Philharmonic played Roman Reigns to the ring, which was a lot better than the University of Arkansas marching band playing Cody to the ring. They were awful. Michael Cole called this the biggest match of Cody Rhodes' life. Really? The biggest match of Cody Rhodes' life, said Michael Cole. I love Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole's great, but you're going to blatantly lie to me and tell me that this match tonight is the biggest match of Cody Rhodes' life? After what you just went through at WrestleMania 40? Who says that? One thing of note, this is what I watch, this is what I see when I'm doing my thing. Did you guys see who came out first? Obviously, we got the Bloodline. We got Jacob Fatu out there. We got Soul. They're standing in the ring. They're waiting for the big guns to come on out. Did you see who came out first when they were about to do Cody and Roman's entrance? Who came out first? It was Cody. We got the University of Arkansas marching band playing Cody Rhodes to the ring. Cody came out first. He did his whole spiel, wearing that awful, terrible-looking mask, which I hope he just burns. It's awful. It's fucking comedic. And then Roman Reigns comes out. Did you guys notice the difference between Cody and Roman? Did you guys notice the ambiance, the environment, the aura? The difference between Cody and Roman? I don't wanna put negative bad juju on Cody Rhodes. And I don't want to say anything off color because I think Cody's great. Some of them, some of you guys don't like Cody, some of you do love Cody. But the way that I saw things, man, it's the fucking little things that just add up, WWE sent Cody Rhodes out there first. He's the WWE champion. He should come out last. Theoretically, he should be the last guy because he's the most important. He's holding the biggest title in the industry. Comes out first. Roman Reigns comes out second. Who do you think WWE thinks is their biggest star? Certainly ain't fucking Cody Rhodes. Even as the WWE champion, even on this night, WWE threw it in everybody's face. Yeah, he's our number one guy, but he's number 1B. Roman is our number 1A. The way I saw it, if he was the biggest deal in WWE, he would have came out second. And yeah, you may think it's not that big of a deal. They're both even. They're on the same team. They both got big entrances. No. Roman, in the eyes of WWE, is their biggest star, even without the title. Bell rang. I felt like I was waiting forever for this match to start. Roman had to ask Cody Rhodes if he really wanted to start the match at least 10 different times. I was on my phone. I was tweeting about what had happened before. I look up and I'm like, did the bell ring? Why hasn't nobody through a wrestling hold yet? Rhodes eventually started against Fatu, which was another match I would love to see one-on-one. Rhodes quickly hit some big offense. Fatu no-sold it. Solo entered without a tag. Reigns entered. He evened the odds. Crowd chanted OTC. And then they started chanting, fuck you, Solo! It's nice when it's on PLE and you don't have black screens and fucking muted audience. Solo legally tagged in. In comes Reigns. First time he's been in the ring wrestling since WrestleMania. Crowd cheered. Solo at the edge. Fatu entered. As soon as Reigns got some offense, Fatu did not tag in, but he distracted Reigns enough for Solo to hit Reigns from behind. Solo hit Reigns with a big running hip attack. Fatu tagged in. He hit an even more devastating running hip attack. Fatu missed the Stinger Splash. He went face first into the ring post, just like Umaga. Just like Umaga used to do. So, Reigns hit a hot take to Cody Rhodes, who hit Fatu with a power slam, some dusty jab, the big bionic elbow, hits him with a Cody cutter. Solo distraction allowed Fatu to hit a pop-up Samoan drop. Jacob Fatu's got the best Samoan drop in the business. So then the match slows down, and we get the Bloodline working a methodical tag team match where Cody Rhodes was getting his ass handed to him. They even had Cody take all the offense in this match and then make the hot tag to Roman Reigns, who ended up being the hero here. Cody Rhodes got back into it and he played his own heroic role at the end. It wasn't all Roman Reigns. So, Cody Rhodes is getting beat up. Rhodes fought them off. He tried to get a hot tag, but there was a great camera angle where Jacob Fatu was taken out. Right? There was double team moves. Fatu got taken out by Cody. He broke free. He tried to make the hot tag to Roman. There was a way that WWE shot this camera angle tonight. If you guys watch the show along with me, you know what I'm talking about. It looked like when Cody was about to make the hot tag to Roman Reigns, it looked like Roman jumped off the apron to intentionally avoid getting the tag. Meanwhile, it wasn't that way. And Jacob Fatu was on the outside because I didn't see him anywhere in the scene. He pulled Roman off the apron as Cody jumped to make the hot tag. And that's the reason why Cody didn't get the hot tag. But I thought, the way that they shot it made it look like Roman intentionally jumped off the apron. I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic. So, Fatu went for a senton bomb, but Rhodes got his knees up. He finally gets the hot tag for Roman. Hits Solo with some clotheslines and a big boot. Solo blocked the Superman punch. He went for the Samoan spike, but Reigns countered into a crucifix pin for a 2. Reigns hits a Superman punch for a 2. Reigns then sets up for the spear, but Fatu super kicked him. Fatu and Solo super kicked Reigns. And then Fatu hit Reigns with a moonsault, which looked great. Fatu followed with an Uso splash. This was a great combination of moves here. Rhodes breaks up the cover. Cody Rhodes cleared the announce table. It's on the outside. He sidestepped Fatu, crashed through the barricade. He got up. He no-sold it because he's a fucking beast. And he started throwing chairs at Cody Rhodes. Rhodes hit him with a crossroads, and he gets up. Can't keep this guy down. Love it. That old school mentality, man. That classic Samoan. You can't keep him down. Rhodes hits consecutive super kicks. He knocks Fatu onto the announce table. He's laying on his back. Cody Rhodes goes up to the top. He stands on the steel post to get more leverage. Jumps off the top rope. Before he jumps, he does one big salute to Roman Reigns. I got you. You got me. I got you. He risked it all. Threw his body out on the line. Splashed Jacob Fatu through the announce table. So that takes both of them out of the match. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Reigns and Solo exchange right hands in the ring until Reigns hits a Superman punch. Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa, they're out there, and you guys know good old Tama Tonga. He's out there, creeping around. He wanted to taste some blood tonight. Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa appeared. This distraction allowed Solo to hit a spear for a near fall. Crowd started to chant yeet. Then all of a sudden, everything just comes to a complete stop. We see one guy standing there at ringside wearing a hoodie. He's got a mask on, bandana covering his face. All you see is his eyes. He got a big black hoodie on. I'm like, that's gotta be Jimmy. It's gotta be Jimmy. He super kicked Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa. It ended up being Jimmy Uso. Crowd erupted. Reigns spears Solo. And that was enough for the win. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns beats the bloodline of Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa with the help of Jimmy Uso. Roman Reigns and Jimmy hugged after the match was over. OG bloodline. At least 2/3 of the OG bloodline now back together. Rhodes got to his feet. He was holding his WWE Championship belt. He had a stare down with Roman Reigns. Jimmy and Roman were on one side. Cody was on the other. Roman's looking at the title. There was no embrace. No handshake. No pat on the back. No thank you. Roman kept his word to Cody. Cody fought his ass off to help Roman. They're evil. So the Bloodline all of a sudden attacks Cody in the ring as Roman and Jimmy start walking up the aisle. So 4-on-1 attack. They're about to decimate the WWE champion. Jimmy stops Roman in the aisleway and says, "Goose, we can't let this happen. We got to go help." Roman doesn't know what to do. He's not moving a muscle. Jimmy's trying to convince him. Tell him, we got to do the right thing. We got to do the right thing. He helped us. We got to help him. They eventually go and help Cody Rhodes. They fend off the Bloodline. They retreat. And they save Cody Rhodes. All of a sudden, Reigns picked up the WWE title. He looked at it with this loving embrace. He wants it back. He hands it to Cody. And then all of a sudden, the final boss, The Rock, comes out. The Rock has his own People's Championship that we last saw him with, draped over his shoulder. He stands on the stage. People went crazy. Got the big entrance. He's standing there with the spotlight on him. The music stops. Reigns, Rhodes, and Jimmy are watching from the ring. And The Rock raised his eyebrow. Camera zooms in on The Rock. He raises his eyebrow and does the finger slash, the thumb slash across the throat. And then he walks away. And then the show goes off the air. They quickly went off the air. I guess they didn't want to overstep their boundaries with UFC 307 happening at the same time. That's the way the show went off. I'm like, Rock's got to say something. Rock's got to get in the ring. We got to get some stare down in the ring with The Rock. He's going to be there with the rest. He came out on the stage. He did the throat slash. He walks away, and then the show goes off the air. Now, there was a rumor that he would be back because he was at Appalachia High School about an hour and a half away from Atlanta. And he was there watching their big football game last night. And obviously WWE, with him being in Georgia, I think everybody kind of clued in on, well, I think that means Rock is going to show up at Bad Blood, because if he's already in Georgia, why wouldn't he be at Bad Blood? WWE likes to kind of low-key announce, well, Rock is doing something 3 hours away, but he's in the same state. The fuck is he in the same state for? He's doing something to kind of sway people from thinking if he's going to be at the WWE show or not, and he ends up being there. But we all know The Rock being back is better television. We all been waiting for The Rock. We've been waiting for The Rock to be back on television since his embrace with Cody on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, where he shook his hand, gave him back whatever Cody gifted him, which I'm assuming is the Rolex. And he looked at Cody and said, "Don't break my heart again." I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know what he handed Cody back. I think it's the Rolex that Cody gifted him before WrestleMania. I don't know where The Rock looks at Cody and Roman and kind of pieces together where he broke his heart. Maybe teaming with Roman, maybe he feels the family turned his back on him. I don't know if Rock is going to be on Friday night. We got Jimmy back. Jimmy being back and KO attacking Cody is more than enough for SmackDown to be must-see on Friday. I don't know if Rock is going to be on Friday night. He should be. He's back. So hopefully we get that. Maybe he shows up on Monday. I have no fucking clue, being that they announced Cody versus Gunther for Crown Jewel. Maybe he shows up on Monday. I don't fucking know. I would like to think so. Anytime we get The Rock, his story is going to take precedent. Now we're moving the Bloodline story into must-see. It's been kind of dragging its feet for the last few months, just waiting for The Rock to get back. Does The Rock have anything to do with KO turn? I don't think so. I think after seeing what he saw tonight, I think KO just had enough. He wasn't on Friday night. What does Randy Orton have to say about that? Randy tried to get in between them on Friday 2 weeks ago, because the plan was Randy was going to talk to KO and let KO know that Cody said, "Listen, I asked him to be out there. If we need him, he's going to be out there." KO didn't really get clued in on that, which kind of opened my eyes. But did Randy go and tell KO? Sounds like he did. So to KO, Cody came out there and kind of fucked things up. He's just tired. I don't think The Rock has anything to do with KO turning on Cody. I think KO has more than enough reason to turn on Cody if he wants to turn on Cody for what happened over the last 4 years and seeing how Cody is now operating. He's put his life on the line for Cody, and Cody is just blatantly teaming with the people that kind of ruined his entire last 4 years. Things are starting to pick up. This is exactly what SmackDown needs. So I'm very interested to see where they go with SmackDown on Friday. Crown Jewel Championship now being announced. We'll get more of that on Monday. Gunther and Sami Zayn on Monday in the main event. Jey Uso will defend against Xavier Woods on Monday. Pete Dunne versus Sheamus on Monday. 2-hour Raw on Monday, which should be great. Friday, it's going to be interesting to see what they announce. It's going to be interesting to see what they announce. He did JB, says Michael Howman.